Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we have quite a few updates on the Emiru situation for those of you who have not been paying attention. Very popular streamer Emiru was assaulted at Twitchcon. They let some rando come up and kiss her and grope her. And, they pushed the guy away, but there are claims that they didn't do enough. And that her security guard, I guess, was banned from the convention. She's not happy.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about TwitchCon. Some of the bigger streamers out there like Asmongold and Tectone saying they need to shut this shit down. Meanwhile, Dan Clancy is out there doing interviews with Taylor Lawrence and dropping women on the dance
still
floor.
Around. Taylor Lawrence is still around.
Apparently, Taylor Lawrence is still around. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the situation as best as we can understand it. And I do believe there will be repercussions. Sometime next week, I think either Amazon will step in. I think that there might be a lawsuit. I don't know. Something's going to happen. But we're going to take a look at her statement and the follow-up. And her story does not mesh with Twitch's story.
I'm unrelated, but I'm kind of wondering why we keep getting all these ads about hooking up with women.
I don't know. That's not me.
So what was you doing there?
I wasn't doing anything. But isn't it weird, though? We're talking about her being assaulted at TwitchCon, and they're running all these ads for dating.
And 50-plus women online.
50 at once, or?
No, I think
age 50
age.
plus.
I'm like, man, they think you're a lot older than you are.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know, right? Well, they also think I have a kid to put in the seat there. And oh my God, what is going on here? I swear to God, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's probably because it's Twitch. Oh no, it's probably because they're talking about.
Me. I was looking for a side. I was looking for a side chick. Anyway,
you're looking for a side chick. Well, it's probably because they're talking about grope. That's kind of like weird, isn't it? They're like, hey, you got groped at TwitchCon. Let's show you some ads for
how to hook up with women. Anyway,
hook up with women. Anyway, let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
All right, so let's take a look at this article, and then we're going to. Oh, there we go.
Your military plan workout for seniors. How old do they think we are?
How old do they think I am? That is crazy.
So,
anyway,
to the point. So yeah, interestingly enough, you were going to talk about her statement and stuff. I guess this guy, I thought maybe was in line. No, she said that he went through several different other streamers' lines, like cut across right through the barriers, and no one stopped him. He could cut across all these places, and the security, quote unquote, didn't stop him until he went up to her and grabbed her.
They were talking about the security, quote unquote, at Twitch, and they had videos out there of them doing the pat downs. There was no pat down. They're just kind of like waving their hands around people and just letting them through, letting them in. And yeah, it's a mess. But here, just to show you guys, here's the original video. We're not going to play the audio here on this one, but we'll show you kind of what happened in case you missed it. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably seen it multiple times already because everybody's talking about it. Yeah, this guy just walks up
to her and starts grabbing at her.
And they shove him and...
Yeah, but where were you the whole time he was walking across? And then she said, and we're going to look at her statement, that the person that took her behind is her own personal manager, and only her manager and her friend checked on her. The Twitch people didn't even check on her.
Yeah, so here's her, and they put a statement out, and they're like, we're going to do what we can do, guys. Yeah, they actually got a community note, Twitch. They said Twitch staff originally allowed the assailant to walk away and only apprehended him and escorted him out when they were pressed to do so by Emiru's manager. Also, numerous accounts have said that while the tweet says no more +1s, they are indeed allowing them. So they're getting called out in their bullshit.
Good.
Wow.
Bullshit.
So... She posted on X. She said, hello, everyone. I'm okay. Thank you for all the kind messages. I cannot respond to all of them. I think this is her whole message here. I mean, we go through that.
The whole thing, yeah.
And then she did a video, too, and she talked about it a little bit more. So we'll watch the video. We'll
I'm sure she's really upset. I would be, because
I think she was contractually obligated to do this.
People said, I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying that she was basically told that she had to do this because, if she wanted to keep her deal with Twitch or the show or whatever, she had to do this. So she's doing this even though they wouldn't let her one bodyguard with her because he stopped somebody else previously, and then how dare you touch somebody when they were being inappropriate. I guess they were falling around all over the place, and he stopped them. And they wouldn't let her have security guards, so she's there. And then this person just apparently went across all these other people and got to her anyway, and they did nothing to stop it. So it's bullcrap.
There's gonna be a lawsuit. I guarantee.
Well, I know she's suing the guy that came up to her. Anyway, she's pressing charges, I guess.
Well, yeah, and it would not surprise me if she got gone from Twitch and went to like kick or something. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and even in front of other creators, meet and greets, to grab my face and try and kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out it could have been a lot worse. Yes, I'm obviously shaken up by what happened. And it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this. But
we're really sorry that you have to deal with that.
I'm sure she's watching this video.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I'm just saying, it's awful.
It is
just
awful.
Just like that guy that got assaulted at the other one.
But to tell you honestly, I am a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacts as my own security. It's true.
Okay, so that was her security. That was her security. Yeah. Okay.
It's true. My favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to police at past TwitchCon. That's insane that your security person can't even detain someone who is a threat to you.
Yeah, he was falling all over, apparently.
However, there were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away, as you can see in the clip, since they don't even appear in the frame. The woman who is walking me away is my own personal manager, and behind the booth, the only 2 people who were checking on me and comforting me were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or if I was okay.
Yeah, see, this is all unacceptable.
If she wasn't as big as she is, Dan Clancy did victim blame her. We'll talk about that. But I mean, this is kind of like Gen Con where Jeremy Hamley got punched and they banned him from the convention.
Wait. I didn't hear what he said about her, but let me get this straight. She was contractually obligated, purportedly, to do this.
Yes.
And then this guy walked across all these in front of all these different other barriers and streamers, and no one stopped him.
Yeah.
And the only reason he got stopped when he got to her was because her people stepped in, and it's her fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Wow.
My friend who was present told me Twitch security were also behind the booth afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened, and immediately laughing and moving on to talking about something else. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything and they let the guy run away with initially, I have no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe was doing. Well, we saw videos. I saw video clips and it was like just a stupid going through the motions, like a pat down, but they weren't actually doing anything. In Twitch's statement, they said the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but that is a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet.
You can see they walked away.
Yeah.
They just walked right away.
He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me, and it felt like this only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. I have a lot more I want to say, but we'll say it on a stream later. We'll look at that video clip. Thank you guys. Sorry you all had to see us. Definitely my last TwitchCon. It saddens me to say, as a 10-year off and on attendee of TwitchCon, I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I did not feel cared for or protected, even bringing my own security and staff. I can't imagine how creators without those options would feel. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest advertisement for not to show up. And this is after people, like Hassan and stuff, said they weren't going because they might, people might come after them for his behavior with the dog and stuff about Charlie Kirk.
That's a self-inflicted.
Well, the dog thing though, there were people there that were dressed up as him and his dog.
I saw that. Yeah,
I saw that. That's so wrong, but so funny at the same time. Anyway.
All right, so let's take a look at this clip here. This is I think backstage, and she's really not happy.
Well, can you blame her? I would deck the guy.
All right, here we go. Let's see what she has to say.
I really would discourage other creators from going back to TwitchCon, not just because it was able to happen at all, and what happened during it, and the aftermath. It's just
she doesn't seem it seems like she's still trying to process this.
Yeah, she is.
Like, how did this happen?
Talking with her hands and flinching. That's what I would be doing. I'd be like, what the,
How did this happen? Right? Like, she's probably like, I can't believe this happened. I even brought my own security. But look, it's awful that it happened, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse, right? And that's what's scary. It could have been somebody that was actually going to
Well, The poor guy at the Romantasy Con, they literally were reaching into his pants and touching his private parts, and multiple women. And they were tagging him with air tags, slipping him onto his body to follow him back to the hotel to accost him.
Yeah, that's
so yes,
insane.
it could have been a hell of a lot worse. The difference is media covers one, not the other, but that's a whole other story.
It could have been, well, I mean, the fact that they're not doing their due diligence even in the security, I mean, it could have been that somebody brought a knife.
Well, that's what the people thought at first, because it looked like he had something in his hand.
Yeah.
And it does look like he has something in his hand, but I don't know if he does or not. That people mentioned that. I don't know. It looked like he might have. I don't know. That I can't speak to. But the fact that he went across all those different streamers' meet and greets and barriers to get right, and then clearly kept walking forward, like no one stopped him even then, like he was jumping, like for all they knew, he could have been jumping line or something, and no one stopped it. And until he got to her.
All right, here's some more.
Okay, I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
What?
What? That'd be me. I'm with her on that one.
What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No.
I'd be like, what the fuck? That would be me too.
We're mid F-bomb here. Yeah,
understandable,
that's
sweetie. I get it. Totally. Let the F-bombs fly.
And we'll take a look at what Dan Clancy was doing as this was going down. This guy, at the very least, Dan Clancy
get rid of him
is a fucking joke. Like, Twitch has gone downhill ever since they brought this guy in, and it feels like he is the captain of the Titanic. Like, they brought him in just to kind of shepherd it to the end of the line or whatever. And it's just like, God, it's insane how far of this platform has fallen. I mean, it's always been weird, but in the last like 2 years, especially, every time you hear about Twitch, it's always another controversy. It's always layoffs or their creators acting like assholes or this shit or somebody breaking their
like an asshole. You know?
CEO's acting like an asshole. They need to get rid of this guy.
Who the fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not? Like, we're talking about the convention here.
Yeah.
So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch.
What the hell?
Also, later the same night, I'm not gonna drop names here because I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. But I had multiple people tell me that key Twitch representatives last night were out partying.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at that. So this is what Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, was doing.
All right, guys, I am not a trained professional. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't, because
this guy's too damn old. Throw her back up, man. Oh. Yeah, well, that's that is a metaphor for this whole damn platform, isn't it? I mean, God, he needs to go.
Yeah, first of all, why would you trust this guy to flip you anyway? I mean, kudos for being able to pick her up that much.
Oh,
God.
my
God.
So then he's also doing interviews with Taylor Lauren. So we'll take a look at that.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Or Lauren.
Yeah. And she has a mask on.
Let's
I don't know
take
how
a
this
look.
person's still around. Like,
I don't know. And how.
These are all filling upward people here. This is all examples
That's
of how
exactly
to fail
it.
upward.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this interview. So this is what he's doing when all this shit's going down. Basically, TwitchCon is burning down in real time, and you're giving interviews and dancing badly and dropping people.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, you know, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case.
Because poor Hassan, poor Hassan.
They're afraid they'd do to him what they did to his dog.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society.
What the hell kind of answer is that? Seriously, like,
That's a non-answer. It's a corporate, I'm going to talk around it, not answer the question.
I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay.
Whoa. She's supposed to ban people online, and these people show up at the convention. They're not being blocked from the platform. So if I ban somebody in our chat, if I ban somebody, we're on a live stream, I ban them. Let's say I ban them. How's that stopping them from showing up at an event and trying to come across and kiss me and no one stops them? How?
What if they show up at the event because they're angry that you did ban them?
Right. This is
And
like I'm not taking responsibility for my things we should have taken responsibility for.
He's victim blaming. He's basically like, well, she should have banned him, and then
Well, she could have. For all we know, she did. They could have been banned. I mean, I don't think they were, but just because they behave one way online doesn't mean that one way in public doesn't mean that they there's reason for you to ban them online. Like they could be really nice online and then in public be a completely different person, or vice versa.
Yeah, it could be a sock puppet. I mean, you don't even know.
Common sense is dead. Anyway,
you don't know who you're dealing with online, and that's always unless you've met people in person, which we've met a couple of our fans in person before, different places, but unless you've met them in person, you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what their intentions are, right? And it's just
It's very different, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me.
This isn't live streaming. What the fudge? This isn't live streaming. Okay, so she's at a con, supposedly cut by you guys, contractually for you people, and it's your job to keep them safe while they meet the fans that you want, these fans for yourself. And keep your channel relevant, and you can't even, let this guy walk the entire way across and did nothing, and let him walk away afterwards and did nothing, and then it's her fault because of live streaming? Does this make any sense?
So what you're saying, Dan Clancy, is if you don't want to be assaulted at TwitchCon, you shouldn't live stream. Therefore, you shouldn't use Twitch at all.
Basically, if you don't want to be assaulted, don't go on Twitch.
Like it comes with, it does. Everybody understands when you do this sort of thing, especially live streaming, there are risks. You're going to interact with crazy people.
Especially if you're a pretty girl.
Yeah. And that's but still to say that we didn't even do the bare fucking minimum to keep her safe. But she had to bring her own security in. We didn't even check on her. And that blue hair that was standing there didn't do a damn thing. It's like, what is your?
I think that was someone meeting her, actually, but yeah.
I don't know.
What happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about securing this environment. We're looking very closely at everything that happened there.
No, you're not.
Wait, you're not. We're looking to see if you've live streamed, because if you live streamed, it's completely your fault. That's what you just said.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna pull something else up that I have to wonder. And this is my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. She's been critical of the platform lately, and I have to wonder if they're just like, oh well, something happens.
And I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done, because that's the world.
People wouldn't even come because they were afraid to come to your event, but you're like the leader in the industry on keeping your people safe.
Yeah, bullshit.
Everybody obviously didn't feel safe, or they would have come.
Why is it always Twitch? I brought this up in another video, and I think that video is going to go up after this one, talking about kind of the state of Twitch. Why, when you hear about this sort of shit, it's always Twitch and never YouTube?
I don't know, because YouTube doesn't do events like this. I don't know.
Well, no, they do. They do like VidCon.
I know,
well, it's not YouTube. But like saying, you don't hear about this kind of shit happening at like VidCon or at YouTube that often, whatever. It's almost always Twitch. We've been to
how many conventions? We used to go to conventions all the time, and there are always celebrities there. And those conventions would go out of their way to make sure people were okay. Like, I know they would take people we were in panels with. They were taking them out the back and everything else that we're going, because we were just the plebs doing webcomics and stuff. But we would hang out with the creators, celebrities and stuff, and they would have all kinds of security for that.
Celebrity adjacent webcomics.
Yeah, we were creators. We got to breathe the same air. But they would have all kinds of security measures to keep these people safe. And the guests there would always. I never saw guests misbehave to the level that would require safety and intervention. But they always had all kinds of things in place to make sure that they were safe, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
So what's their excuse?
Yeah, the we've talked about this before. The one event with Matt Mercer, actually, and this was before he blew up on Critical Role, but they had take him out the back door, and they had like separate area for him and stuff. But they were very aware that there were people that were creepy, and they did what they could do to keep him safe. And it's like it's not even the bare minimum. She had to bring her own security in. That's pathetic. If you have to bring your own security in to feel safe at a convention, why
And you still aren't safe. And they're the only ones. They're the only ones that tried to stop it. Oh my God, I can't even
live it now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, it is very secure. But here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is...
But he went across. Okay, that's true. Because people who show up at different things. Lately, there's been a lot of cases where things happen. That's true. However, this person literally walked straight across all these things, and no one stopped in the entire way.
Yeah.
If that's true,
that's a little weird.
Putting themselves out there, right? And so, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
And others, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I think at this point, there's so many people that aren't even going to TwitchCon because they have security concerns. And after what happened to Charlie Kirk, like I said, it could be so much worse, right?
When he flipped that girl and dropped her because he... Where was the security to help her?
Yeah, right. At least he didn't break her back. That's horrible too. That was a couple of years ago. They had this ball pit, and they were telling this woman to jump in the ball pit, and it's only like a foot deep, and she breaks her back because she hits concrete. I'm like, who the hell would want to go to this? Who the hell would want to go to this thing? It's.
I'll give Tara Lawrence credit. She asked the right questions.
Yeah, she's right every once in a while.
When somebody does something right, I will say so. I don't believe in, and I've said this time and time again, I don't believe in just everything that someone does is wrong because I don't like that person. If they do something right, I'm going to say, yes, that was right, because that's what, adults and thinking people can do.
So, yeah, I really, truly think there's going to be lawsuits. Now, I said before that, I got to wonder if they're kind of pissed at her. This is complete speculation on my part. That maybe they're just kind of like, yeah, whatevs. She was calling out viewbotting just a month or two ago.
Well, this girl sounds like she's got her head on her shoulders and her feet on the ground. Like, she's not just shying away from her fears of retribution. She's like calling it out, and as she should, because then she's going to be blamed for it. Like, if she doesn't say, hey, it's weird that this stuff happened, then they're going to say, well, you're the one doing it. But she's like, I'm not the one doing it, so I'm going to call it out.
So here's another story they had. Yeah, they said that TwitchCon staff are letting people through without scanning badges or checking credentials. There's going to be a lawsuit here. Like, they're not even doing the bare minimum to check to make sure you're supposed to be there. And all it takes is one person to get through. And yeah, I don't know. This was from Reddit. Twitch security lets streamers bypass multiple checkpoints, no questions asked. I don't know, guys. I think this is going to be the end of TwitchCon. I think it's going to be the end of TwitchCon because if for no other reason, all the big streamers aren't going to go. They're going to be like, I'm not safe for multiple reasons. I'm not safe. I don't feel safe. And if you don't feel safe and you're not going, there's no reason for people to go to TwitchCon if you don't have big creators there, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
We will definitely keep an eye on this situation. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, especially after Monday morning after they have their meetings at Amazon. I think things are going to get very, very interesting.
It's going to be interesting as of next week. We'll see. Unless they try to bury it. But I don't think they're going to be able to bury it.
I don't think they can bury it. And it's, like I said, the situation with Twitch is every headline about Twitch is bad. Every headline is negative. Every headline is a controversy. There's
Not
no
every,
good news.
but a vast majority.
95% of what you hear about Twitch is bad. So just contrast it with YouTube, where it's like, hey, YouTube's got record numbers and everybody's coming to YouTube and Hollywood loves YouTube. And
Yeah, Hollywood loves YouTube is where it's bad. That's a whole other story. Yes, I saw Power Rangers going to a show on YouTube.
But then compare that with Twitch. It's like, oh yeah, this creator's in a scandal, that creator's in a scandal. The numbers are bad. They're view
can't control
botting.
sometimes the creators and scandals, but it was under their control.
Yeah, this was under their control.
It was, there were scandals because they were live streaming, and they should have blocked people.
They should just block people. If you just block people online, that prevents them from appearing in real life and doing bad things to you.
Right?
Didn't you know that? If you just block people, they just disappear.
I guess that girl that got dropped should have blocked.
You should have blocked Dan Clancy. It's your fault you got dropped.
Should have blocked him.
Should have muted him, yeah. All right. We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.